Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and glad to have you here to help celebrate all the successes of our alums and celebrate our preceptors this year. It's good to see all of you, good to see most of you without your masks. It's really the first big public event we've been able to have. So I'll invite you to amble to your tables. Your table number's on your badge if you haven't found that already, because we'll be sitting down for dinner in just a minute or two. Cheers with my non-existent drink, Ann. Good. So for more than 150 years, the UK College of Pharmacy has produced world-leading practitioners and researchers. They've changed the way we think about preventative care, disease treatment, and improving treatment in our Commonwealth, in the United States, and across the world. Tonight, we're going to celebrate achievements of 3 of our distinguished alumni, trailblazers who continue to dedicate their lives to improving teaching and practice of pharmacy. And they have guided many pharmacists in their studies and their work. We're also pausing to acknowledge others who have helped us become and maintain being one of the preeminent colleges of pharmacy in the world. I want to recognize the constant support of our preceptors, which is critical to our being one of the top colleges of pharmacy. You'll hear from 5 of our distinguished preceptors of the year, part of a 600-person strong group of voluntary faculty who mentor our students into becoming the next generation of pharmacy leaders. So for now, I'll leave you alone with those brief words so we can enjoy dinner in one another's company, and our formal program will resume after coffee and dessert. Thanks for joining us.
I would have known it would be Anne that would be up talking and mingling. Good evening, everyone. I'm Holly Devine. I'm the Director of External Studies at the college, and I'm responsible for the experiential education portion of the PharmD curriculum. So I, too, want to welcome you to tonight's celebration. The college has a long-standing history of recognizing excellence in precepting for individuals who partner with us to administer 1/3 of the Doctor of Pharmacy program through experiential learning. We have acknowledged a Preceptor of the Year since 1986. Those preceptors were educators in rotations that occurred in the final year of pharmacy school with what we now refer to as the Advanced Pharmacy Practice Experiences, or APPEs. Over time, the college has expanded experiential learning to include not only additional regional collaborations and experiences, but also earlier opportunities called Introductory Pharmacy Practice Experiences, or IPPEs. To ensure that excellence in precepting was recognized across all experiential coursework, we expanded our Preceptor of the Year awards this year to include 5 categories: Advanced Pharmacy Practice Experience, Introductory Pharmacy Practice Experience, Commonwealth Experience Rotation, New Preceptor, and Louisville Clinical Education Center. To honor our past recipients, we have invited all of our previous Preceptors of the Year to this evening's recognition event and are formally inducting them into the Hall of Distinguished Preceptors along with this year's cohort. There are so many amazing individuals who have precepted our students over the years, including some in this room who actually precepted me in pharmacy school. The names of our Hall of Distinguished Preceptors are displayed here on the screen. I'd like to invite all of the UK College of Pharmacy Preceptors of the Year from 1986 to 2021 who are present this evening to please stand at this time. Thank you. Before introducing this year's Hall of Distinguished Preceptor inductees, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge our 2020 and 2021 Preceptors of the Year, whose in-person recognitions were disrupted by the pandemic. Unable to attend tonight, our 2020 and 2021 Louisville Clinical Education Preceptors of the Year, Dr. Jimmy Burns and Dr. Dimitra Antimiseris. We are honored to be joined in person by the 2020 and 2021 Preceptors of the Year, Dr. Megan May and Dr. Mark Huffmeyer. Please stand to be recognized. Our 2022 Hall of Distinguished Preceptors are all initially nominated by student pharmacists who have completed experiential courses with these individuals. Additional criteria for excellence include a dedication to preceptor development, willingness to provide multiple experiential opportunities, and evidence of quality from student evaluations. Tonight, our first preceptor inductee receives the Advanced Pharmacy Practice Experience Award for excellence in precepting our 6-week Advanced Pharmacy Practice Experiences nominated by the PY4 graduating class. Dr. Aaron Cook completed his Doctor of Pharmacy degree from the University of Kentucky College of Pharmacy in 2000, followed by a PGY1 Pharmacy Practice Residency and PGY2 Critical Care Specialty Residency at UK Chandler Medical Center. He practices in neurosurgery, neurocritical care at UK Healthcare, where he precepts students. Dr. Cook has precepted over 150 students over the last 20 years. He's a fellow of the Kentucky Society of Health System Pharmacists, the American College of Clinical Pharmacy, and the Neurocritical Care Society. One of Dr. Cook's nominating student pharmacists said this: "Dr. Cook is a phenomenal preceptor and pharmacist. He is respected by the team and extremely knowledgeable and passionate about the profession. He tailors his teaching to your preferred style if possible. The opportunity to learn from Dr. Cook and his clinical judgment has been an amazing experience." Please join me in recognizing the 2022 Advanced Pharmacy Practice Experience Preceptor of the Year, Dr. Aaron Cook. pictures at the end.
Okay.
So I can put this back over here for you.
Okay.
And if you want to make sure remarks, then you can take
Okay.
that.
Yeah. So I get to make some remarks. So I've been thinking about this a little bit today. Thank you, Holly, and all of the rest of the committee that looks at that gathers all this information from students and other pharmacists for this award. This is a really humbling honor for me. As Holly mentioned, I've been a preceptor at the University of Kentucky almost since I graduated my residency at UK. And I've always kind of viewed it as my job every day with the students is to try to convince them that I have the coolest job in the country, and to try to show the pharmacists or the pharmacy students how they can think and what pharmacy can be for them. And then just hope that they don't want my job later on. But I have to thank my wife, Terry, for keeping things afloat at home for so many days when I work with neurosurgery, so we go in very, very early. And they're very busy, so sometimes we stay very, very late. And so thank you, honey, for being an amazing wife and keeping things afloat at home and letting me do the things that give me opportunities to stand up here and talk to you all. So thank you all. And it's my pleasure to receive this award. Thank you so much.
Our second inductee receives the Introductory Pharmacy Practice Experience Award for excellence in precepting introductory pharmacy practice experiences, consisting of our 3-week summer courses in community and institutional practice and our longitudinal courses embedded in the semester, nominated by PY1 to PY3 student pharmacists. Dr. Jessica Tackett completed her Doctor of Pharmacy degree from the University of Kentucky College of Pharmacy in 2007. Shortly thereafter, one of her former APPE preceptors offered her a position as a clinical pharmacist at UK Good Samaritan Hospital, where she continues to practice and precept student pharmacists today in the area of internal medicine. Dr. Tackett earned her board certification in pharmacotherapy in 2016 as a member of the UK College of Pharmacy Preceptor Advisory Committee. One of Dr. Tackett's nominating student pharmacists said this: "I truly cannot say enough great things about my preceptor. Not only is she an outstanding role model and mentor, but it is evident that she puts a lot of thought and effort into designing this rotation to be full of exceptional learning experiences. She went above and beyond to expose us to other health professions so we could understand how their roles and responsibilities intertwine with pharmacy to achieve a common goal, quality patient care. This preceptor truly embodies the values of the UK College of Pharmacy and is the perfect example of the outstanding pharmacists that are cultivated by this program. I cannot think of anyone who could possibly be more deserving of this award than Dr. Jessica Tackett. Please join me in recognizing the 2022 Introductory Pharmacy Practice Experience Preceptor of the Year, Dr. Jessica Tackett.
So first, I'd like to thank the college for opening this award up to IPPE level preceptors, because I think intervening in these students' lives early on, when their pathway is still very wiggly and they haven't exactly figured out what they want to be yet, is a really pivotal part of their education. And there's a lot that you can contribute there. As Holly said in my intro, I'm here today because of a preceptor. I had an amazing APPE rotation with a sweet guy named Lanny Adkins. He is living his best life on a cruise ship in Bermuda today. He is retired, and hopefully one day I get there too. And because of the connection that I had with him on that experiential rotation and the things that he taught me that had nothing to do with math and science, I became a better pharmacist. And one day he called and said, "Hey, we're not bankrupt anymore. UK bought us, and I want you to come work for me." And I had no credentials, I had no experience, and I was not qualified for that job. But he saw something in me because he had formed a relationship with his student. So I would encourage you to take the time to form those relationships with those kids you have in your office for that brief amount of time and teach them things that aren't math and science, because it's really important to their path. Thank you.
Our third inductee receives the Commonwealth Experience Rotation Award for excellence in precepting student pharmacists in rural or medically underserved areas or populations of the Commonwealth, nominated by PY4 student pharmacist. Every UK student is required to complete a Commonwealth Experience API rotation with the goal of applying the college's curricular learning outcomes for medically underserved populations or communities, health disparities, culturally diverse populations, and rural health in patient care. Dr. Jason Underwood started his professional life as a polymer synthesis chemist in Louisville, Kentucky. That career formulated his passion for application of the sciences toward improvement of the lives of people in his community. That led him to pursue the profession of pharmacy, where he completed his Doctor of Pharmacy degree from the University of Kentucky College of Pharmacy in 2009. He began his pharmacy career in independent community pharmacy and started precepting students at his practice in 2010. He established Shelbyville Pharmacy in 2015, where he continues to practice and precept student pharmacists. One of Dr. Underwood's nominating student pharmacists said this: "Dr. Underwood was an amazing preceptor for my community experience. He took the time to fully teach me both clinically and professionally. My duties were truly that of a pharmacist. He took interest in me as an individual, taking time to get to know about who I am and what my aspirations are. I truly appreciated the chance to work with him and would recommend it to anyone else looking for a community experience." Please join me in recognizing the 2022 Commonwealth Experience Rotation Preceptor of the Year, Dr. Jason Underwood.
So I'm back here at the university, so I figured I had to make a few note cards. Okay, so thank you, Dr. Devine, and thank you to the student pharmacist who nominated me for this award. It is a great honor to receive this award, especially tonight in the presence of so many great pharmacists and people that were preceptors and mentors for me as I was, entering the pharmacy profession. So our practice at Shelbyville Pharmacy and our mission there is Shelbyville Pharmacy, and our mission there is to care for and to serve our families, friends, neighbors, and our community. Over the last several years, student pharmacists have played an integral role in helping us care for our patients at a very high level. I am deeply grateful to them for all they have added to our practice, and I hope they were able to see the impact that pharmacists can have in their communities. While the past 2 years have been difficult for most healthcare professionals, I believe that student pharmacists who received their training during this period were forged in the fire and have become PharmD candidates of outstanding quality. They understand better than any before them how pharmacists are both uniquely positioned and uniquely skilled to advocate and provide for their patients. So as a University of Kentucky College of Pharmacy graduate, I'm proud of this class and the students that the college is producing, and I'm looking forward to seeing the colleagues that they will very soon become, and just seeing what they will do for our profession in the future. Thank you.
Our fourth inductee receives the new Preceptor of the Year, awarded to a preceptor demonstrating excellence with less than 5 years of precepting experience, nominated by PY1 through PY4 student pharmacists. Dr. Josh Pruitt received his Doctor of Pharmacy degree from the University of Kentucky College of Pharmacy in 2014. Prior to this, he attended Western Kentucky University and spent 2 years as the lovable Hall of Fame mascot, Big Red. Dr. Pruitt completed a PGY1 residency at St. Thomas West in Nashville, Tennessee, before returning to Kentucky to practice and eventually returning to his hometown of Madisonville, Kentucky to serve as the pharmacy clinical coordinator and residency program coordinator at Baptist Health Deaconess, Madisonville. Dr. Pruitt is board certified in infectious disease and is active in the profession, including serving on the UK College of Pharmacy Preceptor Advisory Committee. Dr. Pruitt has been precepting students since 2018. One of Dr. Pruitt's nominating student pharmacists said this: "I would like to nominate Dr. Pruitt for Preceptor of the Year because of his approach to teaching. He is very supportive but respects your independence. He understands that we are learning and tries to minimize undue stress that would hinder growth. He approaches teaching from a perspective of growth and self-sufficiency rather than one of strict discipline and absolutes." Please join me in recognizing the 2022 new Preceptor of the Year, Dr. Josh Pruitt.
Well, good evening, everyone. This is very humbling because I look around and I'm in a room of a lot of influential people, and I just don't feel like I deserve to be here, from the standpoint of that I have a lot of professors here. And honestly, this is probably my first time back in Lexington since graduation. A lot has changed, but things that haven't changed are those who have influenced me, or those words of encouragement that I received from many who pushed me to continue on in face of these hardships that we sometimes feel overwhelmed and stressed at school. But to feel that, have some students also see that in me, it's humbling and it's very rewarding. And I greatly appreciate the opportunity to be able to continue to precept students. And even in the rural side of the state, I know in Western Kentucky, we also call ourselves the stepchildren, People forget we're an hour behind and we schedule meetings and all those kind of fun things. And, we're running behind on things. But to be able to be recognized, and Holly and the college have always been so supportive of us and helping to encourage students to come our direction. We're appreciative of the opportunity and recognition of what we're trying to do, because we are in a smaller hospital. We don't have the specialists. Pharmacists are really relied upon in that small hospital to step up and fill the gaps when we don't have those doctors. So this is, once again, very humbling. I appreciate everyone who has supported me to get to this point. Many of you are in this room and don't understand the impact that you've had on me. And to know that that impact continues on and we're able to continue to encourage the next generation to be better than we are is a very great prospect. So thank you all.
Our fifth and final 2022 inductee into the Hall of Distinguished Preceptors receives the Louisville Clinical Education Center Award for Excellence in Precepting APPE students nominated by students in the Louisville Clinical Education Center, also known as the Louisville CEC. Since 2006, UK College of Pharmacy has partnered with Norton Healthcare to establish this regional CEC to expand pharmacy experiential learning opportunities for student pharmacists who elect to complete their APPE rotations in the Louisville area in their PY4 year. A UK College of Pharmacy faculty member serves as the clinical training coordinator based at Norton Healthcare in Louisville. The first coordinator, Dr. Chris Miller, was instrumental in establishing the CEC and developing a robust experiential program in this region that over 250 students have now completed. Dr. Miller retired from the University of Kentucky in the fall of 2021, and Dr. Janet Mills now serves as our second Louisville CEC coordinator. Before I recognize the award recipient tonight, the college would like to honor Dr. Miller's contributions to the establishment of the Louisville CEC by announcing the renaming of this award to the Christopher Miller Louisville Clinical Education Center Preceptor of the Year. Dr. Miller, would you stand, please, to be recognized? This year's award recipient is Dr. Jana Kaufman. Dr. Kaufman followed her father's example by pursuing a career in pharmacy and graduating with her Doctor of Pharmacy degree from the University of Kentucky College of Pharmacy in 2015. She then completed a PGY1 residency at Norton Healthcare in Louisville, Kentucky, and became board certified in pharmacotherapy. Dr. Kaufman practiced in specialty pharmacy and oncology and solid organ transplant after completing her residency and now practices with Baptist Health Consultants and Blood Disorders and Cancer in Louisville, Kentucky. One of Dr. Kaufman's nominating student pharmacists said this: Dr. Kaufman was incredibly helpful, willing to go the extra mile to answer questions, and always looking for new opportunities for me to learn. I am so glad I was able to get to know Dr. Kaufman and the rest of the staff. I was constantly learning in a positive, encouraging environment. How fitting it is this evening that the Christopher Miller Award recipient is Dr. Miller's own daughter, Dr. Jana Kaufman. Unfortunately, Dr. Kaufman is unable to join us this evening, so I would like to invite Dr. Miller to the platform this evening to present the 2022 Christopher Miller Louisville Clinical Education Center Preceptor of the Year Award. Dr. Kaufman's sister, Christina, is here this evening, and she will receive the award on her behalf. Christina, you're welcome to come. Is she going to talk? Is Christina going to talk, or are you going to talk?
Oh, I can.
You go ahead, Chris. I'll hold this for you until you're done.
You were going to talk? I don't know. I'm honored and humbled by even talking about this award named after me. I never expected this, and this is just a wonderful event that you have here tonight. And with the Louisville CEC, that could have never happened without the support I've had over the years from the UK main campus and Norton Healthcare and our academic partnership. And I've really enjoyed my position with the UK College of Pharmacy and proud of the success of the program. And I think the end of the year surveys demonstrate our success, and this job for me was truly rewarding. And now I believe the program is in great hands, good hands, with Janet Mills as a new coordinator, and I'm sure of the continued success of the program with Norton Healthcare's continued support for the program. With Jana, I was hoping she could be here tonight, and I'm so proud of her that several former Louisville CEC students are now preceptors in our program. A couple here tonight, Alan and Megan, that we've had in our program over the years. And I'm proud to say that Jana was one of them, and she indicated that she was honored and humbled by this recognition, and would really like to thank the committee for selecting her for this honor. With so many good preceptors in the Louisville area, I know that this was a difficult decision. As Holly said, she graduated in 2015 and participated in the CEC program. She recognizes that she was very fortunate to have the rotation experiences she had and the great teaching preceptors that helped her develop into a competent practicing pharmacist. Paul Mangino's here tonight. He was one of her preceptors in internal medicine. Initially, she was kind of unsure about pursuing a residency, but the experience in the Louisville CEC program convinced her that it would be beneficial for her career and that she desired. She was the first resident at Norton Community Ambulatory Residency Program and was significantly challenged with this startup residency program and given a tremendous amount of independence. She understands how valuable preceptors are in the professional development of future pharmacists and had a strong desire to become a teacher and mentor for students in her current ambulatory oncology practice. She enjoys seeing future pharmacist students develop, and her strategy is to get them involved in pharmacist activities early in the rotation and allow them to become independent in making patient care decisions. Her rotation has a strong direct patient care component, and she spends time with them on assigned topic discussions. She recognizes that students can be integrated into the practice and become valuable members of the care team. She views UK pharmacy students as being valuable for keeping her up to date and help in advancing her practice, enjoys having them on rotation. The value she places on having students is the reason that she offers the rotation capacity that she does. Again, she would like to thank the UK experiential team for this recognition and support. She's humbled by this award, truly enjoys mentoring future pharmacists, and is proud of her association with the UK College of Pharmacy as an alumnus, because this provides her the ability to give back to the school in a meaningful way. And again, I thank you.
We appreciate you, Chris, and Janelle and Christina for coming tonight on her behalf. I want to thank all of our amazing preceptors who, again, we couldn't run this curriculum without the 600-plus people who teach our students on site, and those rock stars here in the room who've done it for so long over the years, and have lots of people that have followed in their footsteps. So thank you all so very much. I'll hand the floor back to Dean Guy now to introduce the distinguished alumni inductees.
It's very bright up here. So I want to start by saying congratulations to all the preceptors of the year who've just won these awards, and thanking you again, both personally and on behalf of the college, for your service. We literally couldn't do this without you, so thank you very much. Before introducing this year's Hall of Distinguished Alumni inductees, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the 2020 inductees, whose celebration took place with 200 close friends and family members and collaborators over Zoom. A shared COVID experience for all of us. So Trish Freeman, Ashley Mattingly, Bill Cruthamel, and my friend Don Latindra were not able to attend tonight. Now, Don, if you're listening, I have to tell you, I deliberately left my challenge coin at home so you could get your free drink. And sadly, Lynn beat you to it. We are honored to have here tonight in person Lynn Harrelson and her spouse from Louisville, and Dr. John Wu and his family who've traveled over from Japan. So will you please stand and be recognized? Also with us tonight are other HODO inductees, including Gloria Doty. Where did you go, Gloria? Gloria's going to wave. And Dwayne Kirky. Congratulations again, both of you. So our first alumni inductee tonight will be receiving the Young Alumni Award, presented to those who made significant contributions to the field within 10 years of completing their degree program. Dr. Chris Delcher will introduce our recipient.
All right, thank you very much. I'm Dr. Chris Delcher. I'm an epidemiologist, not a pharmacist, so I always have to clarify that. If you talk to me for more than 10 minutes, that'll be painfully obvious that I'm not a pharmacist. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Dr. Joshua Brown, PharmD, PhD, graduated from Pharmaceutical Sciences program in December of 2016, and accepted a tenure-track faculty position at the University of Florida's College of Pharmacy. I know this because I helped make sure that he accepted that position when I was at the University of Florida and had the honor of bringing him there. His work focuses on real-world evidence for medication safety and effectiveness, and his research program has been funded by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the National Institute on Aging, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, along with the state of Florida. Of course, as researchers, I've got to give you the funding metrics here. So as a PI, his total funding includes $3 million in the last 5 years, and he's contributed to projects with over $12 million in total funding. He's a dedicated mentor and advisor. At UF, he leads initiatives for graduate students and recruitment of underrepresented and first-generation student populations. In fact, my first PhD student is with us this evening, Yo Chang, and she was a student of Dr. Brown's while he was at the University of, or currently at the University of Florida, while she was at the University of Florida getting her master's. In 2021, he was awarded a Teacher Service Award for his teaching excellence, innovations, and service to his college and the profession. In 2019, he was named AMCP Foundation's New Practitioner of the Year. Most recently, he returned to Lexington a couple of weeks ago to accept and deliver our college's Rokai Research Day keynote lecture. Unfortunately, his faculty mentor, Jeff Talbert, who many of you may know, was unable to join us, but Jeff had a few words for Josh this evening, which I'll deliver. Josh was a disruptive innovator, and I think we all know what that means, in graduate school. He was one of the highest performing graduate students that Jeff ever had. As a student, he would publish several papers each semester, and he was always a good colleague and peer to other graduate students. He served as the Humana Pfizer Fellow, dedicating time at both companies as a research fellow, and developed wonderful relationships, ending with job offers at both places when he graduated. Jeff fully expects that Josh will continue to contribute to innovative work in pharmaceutical outcomes research and become one of the top scholars in the country. So please join me in recognizing the 2022 Young Alumni Award recipient, Dr. Joshua Brown.
Right, so it's easy to know that someone is up for tenure and promotion when they have those kind of metrics available, so sorry that you had to hear all of that. So I happen to be a pharmacist as well, so I traveled from Arkansas to my graduate school program. Lots changed since then. I'm old enough to remember when Arkansas was a football school and Kentucky was a basketball school, and now that's kind of flipped, huh? Sorry about that. So I mainly want to say to kind of, what was that?
We can still take that back.
Ooh. So, disruptive innovator, I like that. It also means troublemaker in different circles. So I wanted to say a few things about both alumni and preceptors. So as an alumni myself, it's humbling to receive this award, but I came here, as Dr. Delcher mentioned, as the Humana Pfizer Fellow, and that entire program actually only existed because UK alumni from different companies sat down probably over a bourbon, maybe a beer, and basically shook hands and created a program between Humana and Pfizer, and I was lucky and very fortunate to have the mentors that I've had over time. But since this night's also about preceptors, I wanted to mention that as a pharmacy student, but also as a first-gen student, my preceptors are some of the most influential people I had in my life, and I hope that all of you preceptors out there don't take that for granted. In particular, you might have some students that don't really need you. They know their path in life, they can progress and be successful no matter what, but some of those first-gen students probably are taking a lot more away from you than you think. So don't take for granted the influence that you have on individuals, and continue doing the great work that you're doing. I'm probably preaching to the choir for the crowd that's here. So keep doing what you're doing, and I guess go Cats. I'm at Florida now. We do chomps, but go Cats. Go Cats, right? Yeah, go Cats.
I guess after 6 years, you breathe blue no matter where you come from. So our second inductee of the night, Dr. Eiichi Akaho, couldn't make it to travel over from Japan. Hopefully he's listening in on live stream and having a good breakfast and enjoying the proceedings. So Dr. Dave Fiola will introduce Dr. Akaho.
Thanks, Kip. I'd like to also extend my congratulations to all the other awardees and the preceptors. You all know that you're the lifeblood of a lot of the aspects of what we train, and so I'd like to also extend my congratulations to you. And it's a real honor to be able to give this introduction to really one of the stalwarts in science who has, with so many others, really blazed the trail for all of us associated with our graduate program. And so I really appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I wish he could be here as well, but hopefully he is watching. So Dr. Ichi Akaho graduated with a BS in pharmacy from the University of Wisconsin-Madison in 1975 and obtained a PhD in pharmaceutical sciences under the supervision of Dr. Anwar Hussain at the University of Kentucky College of Pharmacy in 1979. And he was the first ever dissertation graduate from Dr. Hussain in his long career with us. After completing his PhD, he began a distinguished academic career at Kobe Gakuen University in Japan, where he rose through the ranks to his current status as Professor Emeritus. Aichi has published 12 books and over 70 articles in international scientific journals. He's delivered numerous talks at national and international scientific meetings, including the Japan Medical Association Conference and the International Pharmaceutical Federation, which is a global body representing, get this, over 4 million pharmacists and pharmaceutical scientists across the globe. Throughout his career, he has received generous funding from a variety of sources, including the International Corporation Research Grant in Japan, the Canadian Ambassador Research Grant, and through a private university advancement grant from the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology in Japan, just to name a few of the funding sources for his long career. Aichi also currently serves as a nominator for the Japan International Prize, which is commonly referred to as the Japanese Nobel Prize. And nominators are comprised strictly of prominent scientists and researchers invited by the Japan Prize Foundation. And so this is truly quite an honor and indicative of his amazing career. And we have a pre-recorded message of him to share with you now.
Oh, this is my wife again. Remember? My again is UK. And right? This is the shirt when UK basketball team obtained the national championship in 1996. When I visited the UK as one of my sabbatical years. My cap is also UK made cap. These show to you how much I love UK. Now, three famous things of Kentucky. Alright, number one, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Number two, Kentucky Derby. And number three? Of course, no. It's Kentucky College of Pharmacy. Oh, yes. Hip, hip, hooray, Kentucky. I graduated from University of Wisconsin, UW, in 1975. Then I chose UK because I noticed that the UK and University of Wisconsin have a very good friendly connection. For example, former Dean Swintoski is a UW graduate, all right? And my PhD supervisor, Dr. Hussain, obtained a PhD from University of Wisconsin, all right? With the same mind, UK offers excellent pharmacy curriculum, and I'm very glad that I was able to obtain a strong pharmacy experience from UK pharmacy. speak out loudly of your own pharmaceutical idea, publish papers, obtain the opinion, and speak out and publish in the society. Don't stop learning and don't stop studying after graduation, but keep studying, keep learning for the rest of your life. I want to express the sincere appreciation to my supervisor, Dr. Hussein, for his friendly and at the same time very strict support to obtain PhD. And I also pay strong gratitude thanks to my PhD committee members, former Dean Sedowski, former graduate director, Dr. Kostenberg, we call him Dr. K, and former Dr. Deruka, to all thoughtful, kind, and excellent professors. So all of you, please visit Japan and we'll serve you world famous Kobe beef at my home. Okay? Thank you very much, MC. Ichi from Kobe, Japan.
I think you can say "Go Cats" much better than that. That was great. I'm honored to accept this award as the Director of Graduate Studies and also as a former alumnus of our program. Please join me in recognizing the 2022 PhD Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, Dr. Eiichi Akaho.
I'm cognitively struggling a little bit with the UK College of Pharmacy having supplanted bourbon as the third best thing to come from Kentucky. But I think that probably is the right placement. So, Anne, wherever you are, forgive me that we now exceed bourbon in terms of importance. So finally, we'd like to recognize the Professional Programs Inductee of the Year, Dr. Steve Scholdemeyer. Introducing him will be Dwayne Kirking, his friend, nominator, and a past Hodo winner.
Thank you, Dean. And I have to say, just take a minute before I got to my purpose for being here. H.E., I hope you're still listening. I have known H.E. probably longer than anyone else in this room. We were classmates at the University of Wisconsin. He talked about there when we were in our BS programs together. So it's good to see you again, H.E., and congratulations on your award. 48 years ago, this coming June, Steve Scholdemeyer and I arrived at the University of Kentucky. He just finished his BS in pharmacy at the University of Missouri, and we enrolled in the Kentucky PharmD program, residency program. Spent the 3 years here going through that program, and Steve was R50, I was R42, R50. For those of you, many of you know that means something. And we got through that program together very well. When I got done, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with my life, and Steve said, why don't you, I'm thinking of going and getting a PhD at Ohio State, and so okay, I'll go along with you. We went through those programs together, got a master's degree in public administration, Steve did, and we had essentially the same programs. and PhD in social administrative sciences and pharmacy. So we were basically, and we had similar interests. We were not in the area of clinical practice as much as some of the others. And so you might say we were academic twins. When you see us stand beside, we're not really twins in that sense, but we were really academic twins. We couldn't keep that for forever, although we tried. We both were finalists for a position at the University of Arizona. Steve got the position, I didn't. And he got to go to sunny Tucson, and I got to cold, cloudy Ann Arbor, Michigan. After his time at Arizona and at Peru University, he went to the University of Minnesota, where he's been now there for over 30 years as a faculty member there, where he currently holds a position. I have checked my notes on this. The Century Mortar Club Endowed Chair in Pharmaceutical Management and Economics. For over 45 years, Steve has conducted economic policy analysis relating to pharmacists and pharmaceuticals and society, really. By any criteria for traditional faculty, he was an outstanding person. In education, he taught, of course, thousands of undergraduates, PharmD students, and I don't know just how many PhD students he mentored. In the area of research, he has had over 150 funded research projects, resulting in over 400 research articles published and sometime over 900 invited presentations. In the area of service, he was head of the department, in his department, for over 20 years at the University of Minnesota. He also started the Prime Institute, and started and continues to direct that, which is an organization, an institute that does policy analysis related to pharmacists and medicinals and how to make them affordable, accessible to everybody. But a lot of outstanding faculty members can do that type of activity. Steve went beyond that point, and that's in the area of public policy. And to sort of illustrate that, he's testified before state, national, and international governmental agencies over 150 times. He's appeared before the U.S. Congress over 25 times in testimony. And he was appointed to serve Congress as a member of the Medicare Prescription Drug Review Program Commission back in 1988. And he's been an advisor to several state attorneys general. So he really, in this public policy area, was extremely important. He continues to be very active. It's one of his current activities is at a drug project that's focusing on supply chain and discrepancies globally with life-saving drugs and drugs that are hard supply now. That shows the breadth of the activities he's had during his career. And he has really been a leader from the beginning. He was a national president of the Student American Pharmaceutical Association back in 73, 74 when we first met. Just to say a comment about some of the awards he's gotten, because it could go on to some extent for that, and I've probably taken my time up already. But he received the Impact Award when he graduated from the program. This award was given to the resident that had the most impact and had the potential to become most impact in the future upon graduation, completion of the program. A couple of decades later, he received the Paul Parker, had a chance to prove that he could do it. He got the Paul Parker Award for given by the residents for his contributions in that area, leadership and growth, and all the things that are most important. 3 awards he's gotten from the American Pharmacists Association illustrate the breadth of his career. He received both the Research Achievement Award and the Stimulation of Research Award. That means both knowledge for his research and for his ability to get others to do research through example, through working with students and so on and so forth, the whole group there. And then to complete it, he received the Hubert H. Humphrey Award, named after Vice President and pharmacist, for his contributions in public policy, impact, and service, illustrating that third area I talked about in his activities. I hope you'll forgive the politically insensitive phrase in my next sentence, because it'll become clear in the sentence after that. Hearing about this, I think you will agree that he is the best man for this award. But he has been more than for this award. 43 years ago, just about, he was my best man at Maryland's at my wedding. Please join me in recognizing the 2022 PharmD Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, Dr. Stephen W. Schaunemeyer.
Well, it's time for a rebuttal. No. Times like this are when you reflect on, how did I get here? What have I done? Why did I do it? And I must tell you, Kentucky is one of those places that's more than just a place. It's an event, it's an influence, it's a way of being and thinking as a professional, as a pharmacist. And what I got from Kentucky was three basic things: purpose, passion, and persistence. Now, the purpose started when I was a student before I ever came to Kentucky. As Dwayne commented, I got involved in the Student American Pharmacists Association, and I went to a regional meeting as a second-year student, sat on a policy committee. I loved it. I decided to run for regional delegate, got elected. And then the next year I went to a national meeting, and I enjoyed that so much I decided to run for national president, and I got elected. And then I met people like Lynn Harrelson and lots of other, Ginger Scott, other Kentucky pharmacists, Kentucky pharmacy students who are actively involved too. And so pharmacy, what I learned was pharmacy is more than just what you learn in school. What you learn in school is absolutely essential and from your professions. But I always say I learned more by being active in professional organizations than I did even in school. And that wasn't to minimize what I learned in school, but to say how valuable those interactions were in networking with our colleagues in other places. So I learned about the purpose, and I learned that pharmacy was this more than just a job. It was a profession that individuals could help people in society get better and help improve their health. And so I learned about the purpose of pharmacy. And as I learned about that, I heard about this place called Kentucky from people like Lynn and Ginger and others, that there was this place in Kentucky where you could get this new special degree and program. Back then, the program at Kentucky for the PharmD program was a 3-year PharmD and ASHP clinical residency, or actually hospital management residency, they called it back then. We didn't have PGY 1s and 2s and all of that. We just had one residency, and that was it. But I heard about this program, and it was special, and I heard about the people here, people like Paul Parker and Tom Foster and Bob Rapp and John Pecoro and Gloria Doty and Dick Doty and many others. And I heard about what was going on there, so I wanted to find out about it. So as Dwayne pointed out, he and I showed up here in 1974 and said, we want to go on beyond our bachelor's degree in pharmacy and learn more about pharmacy and what they can do to serve society. So I learned about the purpose. I came to Kentucky. I was excited. I'll never forget when Paul Parker was giving us an orientation as residents. He said, now, I only expect my residents to work half-time. And what you do the other 12 hours a day is up to you. And he meant it, okay? We worked day and night sometimes as residents, but we learned day and night also because of that. And this is before I learned today that the ASHP won't let them work you that much. But Paul Parker was helping to run ASHP back then, so he kind of, had the fix in, so we did work that much. But it was a great experience. I wouldn't exchange that for anything. And so I learned not only then about the purpose and about pharmacy's purpose in society to help other people, then I learned about passion. Now, I have to tell you, I learned passion in several ways at Kentucky. Part of it was about passion in pharmacy, but I learned another passion at Kentucky. First, I remember one of my first patients on a rotation was in an ophthalmology rotation, and there was this old man. He was in the hospital at the time, but when he came in, he was wearing a brown suit. Adolph Rupp was a patient that I got to serve when he was at the UK Med Center. And I heard about this sport called basketball. Being from the University of Missouri at the time, they didn't know much about basketball back then. What also amazes me, the University of Missouri back then was in the Big 8. Today they're in the SEC. Imagine that. That doesn't seem right. But I learned about basketball first from Adolph Rupp in some bedside conversations. And then near the end of our actually a year or two after, also after our program, Kentucky really had a good basketball team. I watched at the new Rupp Arena players like Rick Roby and Kyle Macy and Goose Givens. Anybody remember them? Are there any old people here? Okay. They were great, and they won national championships. So I learned about passion not only from pharmacy, but basketball, truly, from being at Kentucky. And to this day, when Kentucky's playing in a basketball contest or a tournament, no matter who they're playing, whether it's Minnesota, Ohio State where I went, Arizona where I was, or Purdue where I was, I'm still a Kentucky fan. Kentucky taught me about passion in basketball, and it taught me about passion in pharmacy. I learned some of that passion from all of the pharmacists I worked with when I was here. They all were driven to do what was best for their patients and to learn and be the best pharmacists they could. So Kentucky taught me about purpose. Why are we pharmacists? Passion. Do it to be the best you can for your patients. And then I learned about persistence. Now this I learned especially from Paul Parker. I remember having lots of really good ideas, and I'd go in all excited into Paul Parker's office and say, hey, guess what? I'd like to do this. And he says, oh, Steve, have you thought about this? Did you think about this? What about this? It seemed like he always told me no. But what I learned over time was when he told me no, I went back and dug into the issue even more. I learned to be confident of what was there and to do the best I could with it and to improve those ideas. And so by being told no several times, but being persistent, I learned that I could be a better pharmacist and a better scientist and a better researcher. And so he taught me persistence, that don't just take the first thing that comes in your mind and assume that it's already baked and ready to go and the best you can be. No, you need to work at it. You need to improve, continuous quality improvement, and do better and better. So Paul taught us about persistence. All of that said, Kentucky was a great place to learn what to do as a pharmacist. My faculty, the preceptors, my colleagues that I worked with taught me about what to do as a pharmacist. And each of you, those preceptors that were honored tonight, and everyone who's a preceptor, you're teaching your students about what to do as a pharmacist. But we also have to challenge them, and I had to challenge myself, not only to know what to do like I learned at Kentucky, but I had to realize when I left Kentucky, I have to do what I know. It doesn't count until you do it. Knowing what to do isn't enough. When you leave, and as preceptors, you demonstrate this for your students every day, they need to learn to do what they know and what they taught you. So I encourage you, teach your students not only to know what to do, but when they leave, to do what they know. Thank you very much.
So I'll just end by saying congratulations again to all of our preceptor and all of the distinguished alumni inductees. You have impact every day, you've had impactful careers, and you continue to drive the profession forward in the clinic and the laboratory. On behalf of the college and myself, I'd like to congratulate you both on your awards and your career success, and look forward to your continued success. You're what makes this community special and enjoyable to be a part of. So, that's it for the evening. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have a great night. If you're an inductee, please join me for photos, including the 2020 inductees.